One of the things that I enjoy doing most when I'm asked to support young writers with editing is sharing the drafts of the books that I've written and my editor's line edits. I know many writers who do this, and it is as rewarding as it is humbling, but I know that I'm not alone in understanding that even the best writers, and I'm certainly not one of them, don't get me wrong, but even the best writers, they need an editor. So one of the questions that often comes up when I'm supporting teachers is, how often do we focus on conventions, and when within the process do we do that? And traditional wisdom suggests that it's far more important to help kids elevate the meaning inside of their writing and their ideas, their voice, before we're focusing on things like spelling, punctuation, mechanics, and usage. But the challenge is this: if we are teachers who are treating the process as if it's a linear experience and we're moving through it step by step, kids often aren't getting quality feedback on how they're using conventions. They're not getting editing support until that draft is complete. And when we provide line edits at that moment in time, that's really daunting. It's overwhelming. It's too much, especially for young writers. And if our intention is to help them learn why they're making those corrections to that piece, it's far too much information for them to be able to really internalize and understand and hold on to long term. What I recommend is this, and it seems to be helping resolve a number of issues inside of the writing workshops that I'm helping teachers facilitate. The first is that, as I demonstrated last week, it makes sense to teach writing bit by bit rather than draft by draft. So if I know, for instance, yesterday I was supporting middle school kids with writing arguments. If we know that some of the parts of that draft include making a claim, finding several pieces of evidence to support that claim, considering counterclaim and refuting it before we call our readers to action, then we're working with maybe 6 different chunks or blocks or bits inside of that draft. I prefer to have kids build, then better, then bridge to print. So we're going to build your claim, then I'm going to give you feedback and you're going to seek it from other people. You're going to better that claim before you bridge to print. And once you put print down, I only want you to write that block of your draft so that I can lean over your shoulder or even quickly pull your draft aside, just that small bit of it, and give you immediate, timely feedback that makes the writing content even better and the meaning and your ideas. Once that's been accomplished, and it provides me a great peek into how all of my kids are doing, not only with the content of that block, but conventions inside of it, I have a good sense of what I could teach a mini lesson around to improve and elevate the use of conventions inside of just that block, one specific lesson, before we move on to the next part of the draft. When I work the writing process around each bit, it gives me the opportunity to provide kids timely feedback that they can use immediately. I'm not taking home tons of papers to correct anymore or grade. I'm not spending my entire weekend doing that and sacrificing time with my family or taking care of myself or other obligations. And I'm also able to intervene around conventions far more frequently inside of that particular unit because I'm not waiting until the entire draft is complete to elevate conventions. I'm elevating them block by block and bit by bit, and the kids are really learning the rule behind the recommendation that I'm making or the edit that I'm making or requiring them to make. I'd love to know more about your thoughts around this. It's a different way of doing it. Most people don't approach it this way. But I think it has potential. I'm seeing it work inside of schools. People are feeling better about the work that they're doing as well. So I hope that it gives you a little bit of traction too. I'll share some more resources online today for all of you. Have a good day, everybody.